This is Tim Bryce with my column entitled The Attributes of a Tough Taskmaster. I think the expression taskmaster has become passe in today's workplace, but I'm not too sure what has replaced it. Perhaps micromanager or simply a pain in the butt. Basically, it's referring to someone charged with performing a task through to completion and moves heaven and earth to get the job done. I met a lot of tough taskmasters over the years, and I found there are essentially two types: the megalomaniac and the poor slob who has had an assignment dropped in his lap and realizes failure is not an option. There are several attributes which the two types share. They're disciplined, results-oriented, resourceful, and know how to communicate effectively. In terms of discipline, they tend to be very organized and methodical in how an assignment is to be performed and will not tolerate any variance. They are resourceful in terms of not allowing obstacles to interfere with an assignment and know how to overcome any hiccup along the way. In fact, they show great creativity in this regards. They also understand the importance of communicating with all parties involved with the assignment. But the last attribute, which is perhaps the most critical, is they are both very determined to succeed. One because he has to, and one because he simply wants to. The key difference between the two types lies in their interpersonal relations with their subordinates. The megalomaniac relishes the job as it represents power and control. He demands blind obedience and is often fond of saying, "If I say jump, you say how high." In other words, he sees workers more as machines as opposed to human beings, objects which he can manage by push button, an approach which is loathed by his workers. Consequently, he doesn't command loyalty or respect, and desertions are commonplace. The poor slob, on the other hand, stresses the importance of the assignment to his people. He runs interference to expedite problems for them and is concerned with his subordinates' welfare. This is the antithesis of the megalomaniac, who maintains an almost adversarial relationship with his workers. His approach to management is simply to dominate through intimidation, thereby bullying people to complete the task. In contrast, the poor slob seeks cooperation through teamwork and builds a network of interdependencies whereby the members realize they will either sink or swim together. To use a football metaphor, the taskmaster is the quarterback on the field calling his own plays. Depending on what type he is, though, the players will either respect and earnestly work for him, or they'll go out of their way to allow him to fumble away the game. In the end, it all comes down to interpersonal relations. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.